Tonight, Mr. Laurinaitis, you're going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. Player, welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Theodore Long, he used to make people pay. He used to make the heels go one-on-one with The Undertaker. Player. And maybe that's what he would do to John Laurinaitis, because Teddy Long, he is not holding back. His former rival of the Red Brand, remember Theodore Long was on SmackDown. John Laurinaitis was on Raw, and we got that whole WrestleMania match. It was Raw versus SmackDown. It was Team Teddy versus Team Johnny. Well, what team is McMahon on? I'm going to assume Team Teddy, because Teddy Long is staying loyal to McMahon. He's called out John Laurinaitis. He's called John Laurinaitis a coward for turning against Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Where to, Teddy? The Finny Max side. Holla holla. Yeah. You know what? I always preferred Teddy Long over John Laurinaitis. Teddy Long, for me, ranked second behind Eric Bischoff. He was always handed the wrong side of the stick, though. He was always handed SmackDown. We like Raw. But you know what? John Laurinaitis, he got given Raw. He got given people power. And what did he do? He pissed it in our face, man, because he jobbed out McMahon here big time.
Well, we'll talk about what Theodore Long had to say, but just going back to the whole general manager thing, Theodore Long is not my second favourite GM of all time. Probably not my third favourite either. What I think hurt Theodore Long is, pretty much for the entirety of his run, he was a face GM. And I just think it's hard to be a face GM, especially for the longevity that Theodore Long was actually in charge of SmackDown for. We're talking, I mean, Theodore Long probably had, what, a near... Alright, he disappeared and came back for a bit. I mean, but you know, in total, he probably had like, what, 5-6 years?
Holla holla.
And it was pretty much as a face.
It was, aye.
I just feel like it gets pretty old, doesn't it? I mean, you look at like face GMs or authority figures, like, yeah, Shawn Michaels was commissioner for a bit, but he was like on and off. Mick Foley did a really good job, but you know, it didn't last forever. William Regal was a face at a point, but then turned heel. Yeah, I do think an authority figure, you're just more suited to being a heel, because you can like kind of stack the deck against the faces of the brand and protect the heels. And I just think overall authority figures tend to be better when they're heels. But you know what, Theodore Long done a great job in his career. I'm not going to bash the guy. And I'm certainly not going to bash him now after he came out in his podcast. He says that John Laurinaitis is a coward. He's betrayed Kenny McMahon. And so let's get into it. So that's what Theodore Long had to say on the Road Trip After Hours podcast.
Yeah.
He gave his thoughts on the situation. He said, quote, "If what we just heard, if all of this is true, okay, he just turned on the man that made him somebody. He was nothing until he came to work for Vince. Vince put him in charge of talent relations, gave him a bunch of power and stuff, and he abused that power because I was there, and I was one of the guys that he abused. If you don't care nothing about the man that he worked for and made him what he is today, then you know damn well he didn't care nothing about me. That's what you call a coward. Yeah, I mean, okay. If you was in there with the man, and if it's true, you know what I mean, just tell the truth or whatever, and be done with it. By him copping out and stooging it, or whatever you want to call it, that ain't going to happen. He may get off, may get free, may not get convicted, but he's got to live with that fact for the rest of his life."
Player.
End of quote. So, Theodore Long basically saying that John Laurinaitis, you know, is a coward for basically stooging on McMahon and just, you know, giving all this evidence against him. Now, I mean, I don't think you're necessarily a stooge if you give evidence and you're telling the truth. I don't think that necessarily makes you a betrayer or a coward. But with John Laurinaitis, he's clearly just trying to save his own skin and throw McMahon under the bus at the same time. And I think that's where Theodore Long is drawing the line.
No, he is drawing the line.
No,
there.
let's not pretend that John Laurinaitis has witnessed a heinous act and he's decided to do the right thing and give up McMahon. That's not what's happening here.
He is betting on the horse that he thinks is going to win. And you know what? He's cashed out a few times and stuck it on the other horse. But now he's stuck with the final horse, man. The guy's flip-flopped. He is. Fuck him. Teddy Long's right. He is a card. It's completely different, right? If John Laurinaitis picked Janelle Grant for the start and called it McMahon, but you're right. The amount of flip-flopping, changing of the story, the legitimacy has to be thrown out here.
John Laurinaitis has thrown McMahon under the bus to try and save his own skin.
That's what it is.
And Theodore Long obviously sees that, and he's calling it out, and rightfully so.
Yep. No, absolutely. He just... John Laurinaitis, man. Obviously that wee feud
Great insight.
I know, but it's frustrating though. I don't understand how this court case we can fucking continue with John Laurinaitis.
Well, McMahon's lawyer basically came out and...
Whatever happened to wrestlers' court, man?
McMahon's attorney came out and basically says that John Laurinaitis, his statements will mean nothing because he's already, changed his story, so... And that's right.
No, it is right, but it just doesn't sit right with me what John Laurinaitis has done on Vince McMahon. And it doesn't... You know what? There'll be a load of people out there that's thinking like Teddy Long, but they're just too fucking afraid to speak up about it, man.
Yeah, but Teddy Long, he's a real player. He's coming out spitting facts, and tell you what, John Laurinaitis, his name's going to have an asterisk next to it for sure. You got McMahon, new company, 14th and I. Don't think John Laurinaitis will be getting employed anytime soon.
No, I think John Laurinaitis' days being involved with pro wrestling are over. Don't see any way back in for him.
Yeah, I mean, he is the stepfather to the Bella twins, so I mean, that his legitimacy kind of does go out the window.
Well, it does go out the window, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, he's the stepfather to the Bella twins, but he's done.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as a family, I wouldn't trust Nikki Bella. Recently, had to give her ex-husband money, have to pay him child support, and she lost custody of her kid. Not a good look for her.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole different can of worms, isn't it, at the end of the day? I mean, I guess they're not blood-related, but he had to marry into it at the end of the day, didn't he?
He did, aye. John Cena dodged a bullet with that one.
Punk was right all along back in, 2011. You got the touch. You got the power.
Anyway, John Laurinaitis, not the first time we've heard that he's been a bully. All these people say, McMahon was a bully, McMahon was racist. I've yet to see one black guy come out and claim McMahon was racist. Yep. Apart from MVP, who's a little fucking bitch, let's be honest.
Yep. No, MVP is he puts the bitch in bitch, jabroni.
So Theodore Long, what a guy. I'd like to see Johnny Laurinaitis go one-on-one with Undertaker.
Absolutely, man. Wrestler's court. Take the
Undertaker would be taping up those wrists, wouldn't he?
I'd be bloody...
His hands would be getting wrapped.
You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay.
Anyway, we'll see what happens. John Laurinaitis selling his soul, trying to sell McMahon down the river, but it's not going to work because he's already... like I said, his statements don't mean shit now. Because he's changed his tune, he's changed his story. If anything, I think John Laurinaitis should be... he should be wiped from I think the proceedings. He should be gone, and I would personally give him some form of sentence because he's clearly lied either way.
No, I totally agree, but you know what? I do not feel like it's been swept under the carpet, the John Laurinaitis situation. It's like, see if we actually lived in a innocent until proven guilty kind of world, and we didn't just condemn fucking men. There'd more be made of this John Laurinaitis situation. But no, all these fucking marks have to believe Janelle Grant and Vince McMahon's evil and that he gave us shit wrestling for decades, when the fucking reality is McMahon's fucking innocent and he gave us some good shit, pal. No, see if this was flipped and John Laurinaitis was like backing up Janelle Grant from the start and then he was flip-flopping.
This would be a huge deal.
Yes, but because it's the other way about, no one's talking about it. Because they know the legitimacy goes out the window.
Yeah, they'd be, John Laurinaitis is lying, he's been paid off, he's protecting McMahon, he's protecting his buddy, check the bank accounts, there's been transfers or some shit like that. But, and you would be right to do that, because you'd be like, well, John Laurinaitis, how can he swear that he's telling the truth and then all of a sudden just start backing up McMahon? But now people are just not even acknowledging the fact that this guy has said that Janelle Grant's claims are false. And now And at the beginning, he was claiming that he was the victim of McMahon, and then he decided he wasn't a victim of McMahon, and him and McMahon were both innocent, and Janelle Grant was lying. And now, once again, he switched up his story. I mean, anyone with a brain cell would be like, hold on here, this guy has told multiple lies during this case. How can you believe his believability? He's got no legitimacy.
See, the fact that Janelle Grant and her attorney are hanging on to this guy tells you that they're desperate and they're on a losing cause.
Yeah, if they're ace in the hole as Johnny Ace, then they're fucked because, I mean, McMahon's attorney's already thrown out John Laurinaitis. They've basically said he won't be a factor.
There's no aces here. It's a fucking Joker card, man. It's like betting the mule in the Grand National.
It's like playing poker and you get dealt a 2 and a 7. You know, it's pretty shite. You just fold
and get on with life. Aye, that's it. And John Laurinaitis' arse is part it and then fold it.
Aye. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let's do your thoughts down below. Teddy Long, team player. Team SmackDown. Maybe SmackDown is the better show, buddy. Anyway, that's it, guys. Till next time. I love some Teddy Long, buddy.